Now get this. So last night we're meeting for a drink.
Yeah.
Before we go to the show.
Oh.
And she's at the place before I am. I haven't gotten there yet. She texts me and she goes, "Hey, we meet at a different bar. There's a guy I went on a few dates with at this bar.
Oh, wow.
And I don't really want to be here."
Yeah.
So we go to a different bar.
Yeah.
Interesting, right? What, I'm like doing stand-up. People are like, now, what do you do in this situation? You go as someone you've been on a few dates with.
Yeah.
Do you text the person that you're meeting there and say, "I want to go somewhere else," or do you just white knuckle it and pretend like nothing's wrong? Because I didn't care at all.
Right. I wouldn't. Now, yeah, I wouldn't care at all either if I was meeting the girl there and she was dating.
Yeah. I didn't
but
care. But what would you do
if I had an ex that was at the bar that we were meeting at?
Yeah.
You know what I would do? I would go. I would say, "Come on," and I would try to make her jealous.
Yeah. I think so too. Yeah. And I would buy her really expensive drinks.
Yeah.
Like really just go overboard.
Yeah.
And stuff. Yeah. That's what I think I would do.
And I would text my dad. I would try to dress a little skimpier.
Yeah, I dress a little skimpier, and then I would say things really loudly in the bar, like, I closed the Ferguson account. Yeah, so looks like the Bahamas is back on. And then I'd look back over to her. And then
and I wouldn't tell the date that she was there.
No. Yeah, of course not. That's critical. Yeah, but you say things like it's going really well. Yeah. And then to make her jealous.
Yeah, and you go, we should go on a trip to the Bahamas.
Again. Yeah.
She's like, again? You're like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Roll with it.
Just roll with it. I like to role play.
Do you guys have any? Do you have any single cask scotch, like anything that's not on display? Maybe in the back that you're collecting, sort of like something a little pricier.
Yeah. Could you check the back?
Are there any other vintages in the back? We can look at?
Yeah, you keep asking about the back.
Yeah. Is there anything else in the back? You're looking at the food menu.
Yeah.
You want to do chips and guac? I don't know. What else do you have in the back? Is there any? I'm willing to throw.
Is there a nicer guacamole?
Is there a nicer guacamole
in the back? Maybe you could check in
Perhaps
the back.
in the back.
So
yeah, I just closed sort of a big deal. So.
That's congratulations!
Oh well, thank you. Yeah. So that's what I would have done.
Yeah. Well, Joe, you want to explain to the
I'll explain
the listeners?
to the folks what's going on. So this is the Echo Chamber Podcast. Welcome back, or welcome to the show if this is your first time listening. This is the only podcast where two comedians read the Wall Street Journal because one of us gets it for free from work.
You are correct, sir.
And Trent, why don't you give us a little rundown on some of the stories we're going to be hearing about today?
Well, Joe, I would love nothing more than to give us a rundown. In our first story, well, there's a new toilet on the market, a toilet of the future.
Oh my God!
And it's to me, it's scary.
Okay, we have a scary toilet on the market. That'll be interesting. Well, there's another commodity that's sweeping the nation, but it's not really that of the future. It's something we're all familiar with. But pencils making a huge comeback for students.
Really? I didn't know they went away.
Well, everyone's got fucking tablets and shit now.
Oh, that's true.
But these kids, they love the tactile sensation of the pencil.
Graphite. They love graphite.
It's a hot market for pencils. They're turning lead into gold.
Wow.
That's right.
Number 2 is number 1 again.
Pretty good.
Thank you. So, you now, Joe, you're a frequent flyer, a world traveler.
Yeah, I've got my frequent flyer miles. I don't know how to actually use them. I've got the whole credit card and everything. Yeah. I don't know how to. It drives me up the fucking wall.
Wow.
I've never quite enough points to use. For a flight.
Well, maybe this has happened to you. There's more and more pressure to swap seats during flights.
Really?
Yes, people are asking more and more to swap seats.
That's why you just say no.
Perhaps that's...
If it's a mom and her child, I go, I think I've got it taken care of.
Perhaps that's the moral of the story.
Well, there's something going on in the middle of the country, Trent. The quest to build America's tallest skyscraper, not in New York or Chicago, but in Oklahoma.
Really? Yeah. Oklahoma?
Yeah. And it looks preposterous.
Oh, boy.
It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
I really hope they do it. It would be sick. I would actually go to Oklahoma City. Again, a place that I have no ambition to go back to.
Yeah.
But if they built this bad boy, I'm there.
I'd go. Yeah. I believe Bob Dylan. There's a Bob Dylan museum in Oklahoma.
Yeah,
I don't know if it mentions that in the article.
they don't get to that actually.
And well, in my final story, not our final story, you have one more. This is from a new section of the Wall Street Journal. I'm not going to give it away right now.
Okay.
But we'll get into it. But learning to live with the Yips.
Wow. Wow. So I imagine that's from like a retired athlete or something.
Perhaps it might be.
Perhaps, or maybe a still working athlete.
Yes.
Well, our last article is going to be from the personal journal section of the Wall Street Journal, one of our favorite sections. And this is an article from a couple, Karen and Stephen Yoder, talking about how in their retirement, they've been cloaked in invisibility.
What does that mean?
Well,
we'll get into it. But
we'll get into it, but just a little taste. Everywhere they go, it's like they don't exist.
Oh boy,
young people they don't
look at them.
They don't even look at them. They don't talk to them, and they go, "Well, fuck, I didn't know." You know, when they had their jobs, people had to talk to them.
Yeah,
now they don't have any
coworker.
jobs. No one wants to touch these people.
Jeez, that's sad. Oh wow.
So-
It sounds like we're gonna end on a sad note.
We'll try to pick it up. We'll try to pick it up in the article. We'll make fun of it.
All right. Well, Joe, in our first story, this is from the Wall Street Journal.
Oh, okay. The Wall Street Journal.
Future toilets, mirrors, give medical feedback. Future toilets and mirrors give medical feedback.
I don't want medical feedback.
No, I don't either.
So, from anyone.
I don't even want it for my fucking
So,
doctor.
you take a shit and they tell you have AIDS?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, God, dude.
Yeah. It's the year 2034. That'll be 10 years from now.
Okay.
You wake up and head to the bathroom. First, an alert from your toilet. You're dehydrated.
Joe, you're dehydrated, Joe.
Better remember to take that water bottle to work.
Looks like you were out drinking again last night.
Yeah, you're ashamed.
I guess you're about to blow me out.
The fucking lid's lifting up and down.
Spraying black
Is it
diarrhea
speaking?
all over the black tar shit. Yeah, the lid speaking. Yeah. Joe, no! You're so dehydrated!
Your piss tastes like shit.
Yeah, your piss tastes like shit.
The mirror over your sink advises you to apply your prescription cream.
What?
Next step into the shower. It glows with infrared light designed to soothe inflammation. That sounds nice, actually.
Yeah, that's fine because you know what? It's not talking to me.
It's not talking to. It's not looking. It's not using cameras.
It's not condescendingly telling me
Yeah.
to remember to put my cream on my face.
Yeah, it looks like somebody's got a zit.
Yeah.
Give me a fucking break, mirror.
It's probably your diet.
Tech-driven bathrooms could be common in many high-end U.S. homes in the next decade, with post-pandemic wellness concerns helping drive the trend. Designers and tech executives said, smart bathroom tech is already used in top hospitals, hotels, and some ultra-luxury homes in China, said Thomas Serval, co-founder and chief executive of Barracuda, a French company that specializes in internet-connected health technology. Bullshit company.
Yep.
But privacy is a concern. Do people really want their time in the bathroom monitored and analyzed? I'd say no.
Yeah, probably not.
The one,
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
you know, people are gonna buy that shit. I can just picture so many like moms and stuff being like,
Yeah.
well, I want to know right away if there's something wrong.
yeah.
So you take a shit and there's blood in your urine, Karen. You should probably go see your OBGYN.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to know that. I don't want to know that. And that's why I don't want to know when I'm going to die.
I don't want to know from my toilet. I don't want my
No.
toilet to
The
tell
one
me.
place-
Imagine your toilet telling you have cancer.
God.
There's the toilets. There's some good news and bad news. The good news is we caught it quick, right? And there's a lot of options.
That I can't imagine. If you get done doing the most disgusting thing you could do, and you get even worse news. You're dying of cancer.
Oh my God, you have cancer. What happened? Well, I
My toilet
took
told
a shit and
And my toilet told me.
my toilet gave me the bad news.
In the coming years, homeowners will be looking for toilets with more features like urinalysis and self-cleaning capabilities, said Bill Darcy, global president and CEO of the National Kitchen and Bath Association. Homeowners are increasingly giving priority to health and wellness in home design since the pandemic.
It's always since the pandemic with these people. We just move on.
Yeah, it's enough. Toilets in the near future will be able to detect a variety of conditions such as urinary tract infections and kidney issues.
Can I tell if you're pregnant?
Probably.
Take a piss.
Take a piss and then
Give it a baby.
two lines come up in the toilet.
The toilet turns blue for boy, pink for girl. The little gender reveal.
In some senior living facilities, toilet seats with downward pointing cameras already use artificial intelligence from toy labs to monitor urine and stools for potential signs of illness and disease.
I'd hate to see that footage.
Yeah. It's sickening. I pity the guy in Kenya that they're making them watch that footage too.
Yeah. Watch it. If anything's red, call them. Wait till they push the camera. What if it's an upward-facing camera? Well,
that's what some fucking creep will hack in.
Yeah. They'll turn the camera up a little bit.
And angle it.
Nice.
I like that they specify downward-facing camera.
Right.
They have to make that clear. So anyway, Toy Labs, they make the camera. They say they plan to incorporate electronic. They also plan to incorporate electronic nose. Or e-nose technology to detect smells that could warn of disease.
So they got an e-nose in there. And it just has to smell shit all day.
That's its job.
It's smelling shit all day and it's going, you're good. Yeah, just more shit for me to smell.
That's going to be the first robot that rises up.
Yeah. Literally off the ground.
Off the ground while you're on it. Fucking
starts walking
throws
around.
you through the ceiling.
Yeah, no shit. The fucking worst job in the world.
Yeah. When it comes
to sniff shit for a living.
When it comes to privacy concerns, Toy Labs said that its sensors don't record body parts and that data collected from its technology is separated from identifiable names. They all say that shit, and then they say that at the credit, and then
they've given us their word.
Yeah, if you can't trust Toy Labs, who can you trust?
They go, oh, what with your data? No, we wouldn't want to do anything with the most valuable thing. The whole reason our company exists.
Right, yeah, just to collect your shit data.
Yeah, it's like when they ask Facebook, like, what do you do with the data? They're like, oh, nothing. And they're like, well, how does the company make money? And they're like, data.
Well, there's new mirrors, e-mirrors.
Okay.
They look into your bathroom mirror, and you might one day see a face other than your own.
Nope,
Your
not interested. So looking in the mirror's face.
You can boot into your mirror. Tech companies imagine mirrors with screen-like interfaces that connect users to healthcare professionals when the devices flag health concerns.
Well, now, all this is good and fine, and they want to flag health concerns, but what happens when big business gets in bed with these companies, and instead of being concerning about your health, the mirror is going, your blood sugar's a little low. Maybe you need a Snickers.
There's ads, yeah.
Yeah. I would advise chocolate. Hershey's got to deal with the mirror, right? You know? Yeah, what happens if there's malicious corporations?
That'll certainly happen, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, you know what else? They say you look in the mirror and if they notice something wrong, your doctor will come on screen. But then you have to stand in front of your mirror for fucking 30 minutes waiting for your doctor to get there.
Yeah, also, what is this? So my doctor is just on standby for any time I look in the fucking mirror? I don't think so.
Yeah, that stinks.
Yeah, what's he?
I can't even get an appointment at his office.
Yeah, what is he supposed to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning? Cynthia's looking in the mirror, Doc.
Maybe
right, give me a fucking minute.
Smart mirrors with cameras could also help you respond to some of these needs. Built-in artificial intelligence can make personalized skincare recommendations, and augmented reality capable mirrors can guide users on quote unquote face yoga or meditation techniques.
What?
So you look in the mirror. You had a hard night of partying.
Yeah.
And you look in the mirror and they go, you look like fucking shit.
You look like shit. You go to the bathroom and they'll go, you look like shit. You smell like shit. Your stool's disgusting. Yeah. You have AIDS. You're pregnant and gay. And don't forget your fucking face cream, you dickhead. That's what I want when I hear. Let me grab the doctor because honestly,
right.
Let me wake him up, get him on the screen. You need another opinion. That's good. That's what I want when I go to the bathroom.
Yeah. So some smart toilets, Toy Labs leases its smart toilets toilet seats to senior living facilities, charging between $45 and $65 a month per seat.
That's a pretty good deal.
It's another subscription-based service. To tell you, you pay $65.
Oh my god, dude! I got my fucking
whether or not you're gonna die.
My Hulu, my Netflix, my fucking toilet seat. I'm paying fucking $60 a month for my goddamn John.
Yeah,
Jesus
and then they're also
Christ,
making sinks that can tell.
This is the world that we're gonna live in. Every single the door is gonna have a subscription. The couch is gonna have a subscription.
Well, it's a smart home.
It's a smart home. We have a smart home.
This is sort of a smart home. So
your chair fucking collapses from under you. You go, oh, I forgot to re-up my subscription on the chair. So,
actually, yeah, the chair needs to reboot. So
well, the chair's got to reboot. Well, Trent, I think the future is scary, and that's why we should return to good old practical things.
Sure.
Things from the past. Things that we can hold with our hands that make sense.
Absolutely.
Like the pencil.
The pencil.
That's right. This is from the Wall Street Journal.
Ticonderoga.
Number 2. Students playing hot market for pencils turn lead into gold. Some kids have become obsessed with pencils, bidding up their trade value.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Well, back in our day, we had Pokemon cards.
But
now,
let me tell you this. Let me ask you this: did you ever have those pencils that smell, or
No.
was that was after your time?
I don't know about that. No.
They're pencils, and I believe they're called smincels, and they smelled. They had different scents.
Did they have an E-nose in them, or how did it work exactly?
It was pre-Enos.
Pre-Enos.
This is analog smell.
You take your Sminsel and shove it
Those
up
were
your
the hot
ass.
commodity for a while when I was
Ooh, a Sminsel!
when I was in school.
Ooh, a Sminsel! That
Or
sounds like
Sinsels, maybe. That might have been.
Sminsel's funnier.
Sminsel's
I
is
like
funnier.
Sminsel.
Yeah.
Well, the most valued commodity in the schoolyard marketplace is one of the most basic. Every kid wants a pencil, especially a carefully carved stub of a pencil called a mini.
The mini.
Oh, if you can get them right down to the stub, those go for a top dollar.
Really?
These kids want the little tiny carved ones.
Like you're playing golf.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but even smaller, like down to the nub. And they also like mechanical pencils too. That's
mechanical pencil. That's great.
Sasha Portnoy, a 9-year-old from Hamden, Connecticut, is among those playing the market. Quote, 1 or 2 mini pencils for a box of nerds, maybe 2 or 3 for an airhead, says Sasha, explaining the pencil to candy conversion rate.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
the more you know. She says she spends an hour at night sharpening pencils until they are small enough to trade for candy or slime. The gelatinous goop some children need.
They love slime.
Like how they explained what slime was. She sometimes cuts the pencils in half, doubling her investment. Well, I think that's cheating.
That's cheating, and you don't get the eraser in that.
Yeah, one of them is worthless.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you know it's the real deal. It's got the eraser right there.
Right.
And then it's,
you can verify it. You can authenticate
little
it.
nut.
It's a real mini.
It's a real mini. Yeah, there's no eraser. I'm saying I'm getting knockoff minis here.
Yeah.
You're not getting a full airhead for that. I could maybe give you some dots. You want a box of dots? You want to ruin your teeth? Yeah. With smartphones, common pencils are the novelty. Teachers can't hold on to them. Parents can't get rid of them. Okay. Elementary school students can't get enough of them. Quote, they're a status symbol, says Nora Rodriguez, an 8th grader in Peachtree City, Georgia. She has grown out of the mini pencil fad because why? She said with an older kid attitude. So she's over the pencils.
She's done with it.
Yet she still has favorites and keeps them in a pencil pouch. So she's not really done with them.
No, she's just pretending to look
She's
cool.
She's sentimental about it. Yeah, she doesn't want her friends. Nora's 17-year-old brother, Leo Rodriguez, said he used to steal pencils before he knew better. Quote, that was my way of living, he joked. These days, he's a buy and hold guy. He bought an $8 mechanical pencil in 7th grade and kept it even after the eraser wore down to nothing. He carries a separate pencil solely for its eraser.
The mechanical pencil, unless I'm mistaken, you can get a new eraser. That's how you fill.
Sometimes, but depending on the model,
Yeah.
you can't just cram something in the back of there. You know, it's
That's true.
different models, Trent.
Different models. You're right. I forgot that.
Yeah, we'll get with it, right? So,
I'm kind of a moron. I forgot.
yeah, this is serious commodities we're talking about. Leo acknowledged he might be a touch overinvested in the device. Quote, if somebody took my pencil, he said, I'd find them and hunt them down and start taking off limbs.
Stab him with a pencil.
Yeah.
I got stabbed with a pencil.
Did you?
Yeah, in elementary school. Kid, I guess I shouldn't say his name. He stabbed me with his name is Corey. He stabbed me with a pencil in my elbow here.
Really?
And I had to go to the nurse's office.
Ah, the nurse's office.
And they took the thing out, and I had a bandage.
Did your nurse have big, giant, fucking milky tits? Ours had fucking rack out of this world. She'd bend over, and you'd just be staring into the odyssey, the cosmic odyssey of her fucking big milky jugs.
No, well, she did, but she was an older lady. She was sort of a heavy set older lady.
We had like a nice fucking 26-year-old. I wonder where she's at now.
Yeah, that's good. But anyway, I had a bandage, and then I got home, and my mom was like, "Why do you have that bandage on your elbow?" And I couldn't. I refused to tell her
really
what happened.
Well, you were afraid of your bully.
No, I didn't like open. You know me, I don't like to open up.
Well, you're not a snitch.
Yeah, I'm not a snitch. I don't like to be vulnerable.
Now get this: my grandpa stabbed with a pencil when he was in grade school. Had the mark on his palm of his hand till he was in his 90s.
Really?
And it was from a nun.
A nun?
He was drawing cartoons and doodling, and she told him to knock it off. And he kept doing it, and she grabbed the pencil out of his hand and fucking stabbed his hand right to the desk.
Oh, my God.
And, yeah.
Jeez,
those nuns were not to be crossed back in the day.
Mean sons of bitches.
They're mean nuns. Well, Erin Linden, a middle school science teacher in Kelso, Washington, said she and colleagues have tried everything to get students to return borrowed pencils. Some teachers have stopped lending them out without collateral, usually a shoe, sometimes a smelly, but nonetheless valued asset. Dixon Ticonderoga number 2s are always on Linda's Amazon wish list. Their six-sidedness stops them from rolling, she said.
Yep.
They sharpen better, which means fewer traffic jams at the classroom pencil sharpener.
Sure.
The pencils rarely stick around for long. Linden sometimes recovers them on the floor after class or stuck lead first in the ceiling.
Whoa.
That's right. After winter break, Linden bought in a box of bright pink 500 mini golf pencils with bright pink erasers for the students to borrow during a class. She selected them because she hoped they would be easier to spot in school hallways. During the 2 days she left her students with a substitute teacher, they disappeared.
Oh, my God.
Did you eat them? What are you doing with these pencils? She asked her class. No one said a word.
Wow.
You don't leave
mystery.
200 pencils with the substitute teacher.
No,
I'm going to walk all over that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Did you ever have some fucking sub you walked all over?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot.
Yeah.
We had, God, I would act like it was like a free-for-all, and then I would get in trouble with the subs. They would tell the teacher that I was way out of line.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never got in trouble, really, but there's this, we used to hide there's one time we had a substitute teacher, and we had like a closet where you put all your, like a big long walk-in closet where you would put your backpack and jacket,
your book bag and your jacket,
your book bag, your jacket,
book bag, your Spider-Man book bag.
Yeah. And me and a couple of buddies would be hidden there all day.
Yeah. Here's one I got out of.
He was none the wiser.
None the wiser.
Yeah.
I had a substitute teacher, this lady, and I was I've always been a bit of an illustrator. I would never took to sports, not an athlete, not tall.
Yeah.
So I had to turn to the arts as a child.
Sure.
So I would always draw cartoons and things like that. And I was pretty good at drawing when I was a kid. And so I drew this picture of the substitute teacher as the devil. And I mean, it looked like, you could look at it and it looked like her.
Yeah,
I was in like
spitting image.
5th grade or whatever.
Yeah.
Drawing pictures. She's got horns, a pitchfork, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
I drew her as the devil. She walks by. I can see her over my shoulder. And she very curtly goes, "That's a nice drawing. Why don't you put it on my desk when you're done with it?" And we had like 5 minutes of class left. And this is one of the most miraculous things I've ever done as an artist. With 5 minutes on the clock, I'm panicking. I mean, sweat's coming down. I managed to turn the drawing of her as the devil into a farmer. So I throw a cowboy hat to cover up the horns.
Yeah.
I put a mustache on, change the face a little bit. Pitchfork, I put some hay up there. It's like a trough for hay.
Right.
Overall, the whole 9 yards. I turn in 5 minutes a picture of a farmer.
Wow.
And she looks at it and she goes, damn that Nunnink. Slipped through my fingers again.
Wow. Nunnink.
yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's remarkable, Joe.
Yeah, but I was playing with fire.
You're playing with fire, and you're drawing with lead.
That's right. Ticonderoga.
Dixon Ticonderoga. Well, Joe,
But I'm glad the kids are playing with Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that makes me feel nice.
Better than a goddamn
Better than a
tablet.
and, yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Well, Joe, this is from one of our favorite sections.
The Personal Journal.
The Personal Journal.
The Wall Street Journal.
Of the Wall Street Journal. Headline: Cabin pressure to swap seats.
Oh, my God.
James Randolph is a pretty chill flyer.
I don't like him already.
Unless you ask him to switch seats.
Okay.
Quote, 99% of the time, I'm going to say no.
What an asshole.
The 35-year-old digital marketing director from Florida says.
What a fucking
bullshit
prick.
job.
What a prick job.
Prick. I picked this seat. I want to have it. I paid extra for it.
Why? Here's the thing. If you're flying in coach, you can pay extra to choose your seat. Why pay $40 to just... Why not upgrade to like a better part of the plane?
Yeah, I never pay.
Why would you pay $50 to have the same seat they're going to assign you anyway?
Right. Yeah, I don't pay. But some
What
people...
a- this guy's a- this
James
guy's a prick.
Randolph pays.
Oh,
He's
no,
a
but
prick.
he's a chill flyer.
Pricks
What?
play. Pricks pay.
So that didn't pass fast.
Escalating airline seat fees and basic economy restrictions have made that simple question a potential minefield on planes and social media. Passengers who ask are labeled entitled cheapskates. Those who say no, inconsiderate jerks.
Oh,
you can't
win.
fucking win.
You can't
It's
win.
another thing you can't fucking win.
Yeah.
Flight attendants are often left to mediate as other passengers squirm in their seats. It's one more place where we all seem to be at each other's throats over often minor problems.
Yeah.
It's a crazy world out there.
No,
Joe.
when I was flying back from Kansas City a few
Yeah.
days ago, it was a pretty empty flight. Like, it was a small plane. There wasn't a lot of people on there.
Yeah.
And the guy I was sitting next to, there's like all these empty seats. This guy right next to me, and he goes, he's like, I'm gonna hop over to another seat, give us both some space. And I was like, all right, I appreciate that. And he goes and sits at another plane, and there's still a few people left aboard. He sits in another seat, and the flight attendant comes up. She goes, "Sir," she goes, "Go back to your seat." And then he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." She's like, "We will move you if there is space to move you after the flight." And she was like, ran down his throat.
Ugh.
And then she gets on the intercom and she makes an announcement to everybody, a passive aggressive announcement.
Ugh.
She goes, "Just as a reminder to please stay seated in your assigned seat until a flight attendant has asked you to, if you would like to sit elsewhere." And then she goes, "As a reminder, this is a Delta flight, not a Southwest flight.
Whoa, she's shit talking.
It's not a free for all. There are rules here.
There's rules on Delta.
This is Delta,
so
not Southwest. This
straighten
isn't-
up and fly right.
Yeah, this isn't seat anarchy."
Wow.
So
Well,
it's a hot topic.
it's a hot button issue.
It's
Apparently.
right, yeah.
And I mean, you see all these fights. You see these videos of fights on
they're
planes.
duct taping kids to
fucking
the seats.
Wheels are falling off. The wings are falling off.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
I don't want to sit in the exit row. It's too much responsibility. Every other plane crashes now.
Yeah. You're right. You actually have to consider the ramifications of sitting in the exit row now.
I know. Now you sit in the exit row, the flight attendants are like, "Seriously, though.
We need you.
Oh, yeah. You guys.
You're kind of a frontline worker.
Oh, yeah.
So you're one of the first responders.
You're clocking in today."
Ann Old Mixon,
Nah, bullshit name.
a retired middle school librarian, Mrs. Old Mixon,
Oh, librarian old Mixon.
quiet please, says she was practically bullied into moving her JetBlue Airways seat on a flight from Boston to Florida in January so two friends could sit together. It wasn't a bad switch, middle seat to window, but
That's pretty good.
That is good. But she found the passenger's tone obnoxious.
Well,
Quote,
whatever.
she stood. Well, now hold on. Here's what
Okay.
she said.
All right.
I'm on I'm on Mrs. Old Mixon's side.
Okay.
Quote, she stood in the aisle and she said to me, "Your choice is the window seat."
What?
So the person that wanted the middle seat to sit with her friend, imagine you're sitting on the plane. This person comes up. She's got a friend that's going to sit on the aisle. She says to you, "Your choice is the window seat."
I'd throw my fucking drink in her face.
Yeah. I throw my fucking drink in her
"Excuse me?"
face and I say, you're going to have to step over me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not getting out for you to get in either.
No.
And I'm taking the fucking armrest.
Right. What an insane way to...
That's
do.
crazy.
Yeah.
That just sounds like,
poor
you know what it is? I think it's less about seats. I think where have manners gone, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Where'd the manners go?
It's every man or woman for themselves now.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
No.
Well, Mrs. Old Nixon, she says she's a nice person and didn't want to be in the middle of two friends' conversation, so she moved. That still wasn't enough. They asked her to put the window shade down.
Oh my God.
She refused.
I would be irate.
Yeah.
I would be. So I don't know what I'd do. They'd have to duct tape me to the seat. I'd throw a fit.
I'd take you know what? I'd take the fucking plane down.
Yeah. I'd hijack it. And I'd fly right into the new building they're putting up that we're about to talk
Oklahoma,
about.
Yeah. Well, Lizzie O'Leary had to work to convince someone to trade seats so her husband and 3-year-old son could sit together on a Delta Airlines flight from Savannah, Georgia to New York this month. The initial passenger they asked to swap first-class aisle seats refused. O'Leary bought her ticket separately and was in economy.
Wow.
O'Leary said Delta couldn't fix the problem before boarding, so she was told to ask someone to switch. She didn't think it was a big ask. The passenger was only moving back a row for a 90-minute flight and couldn't imagine someone wanting to watch Bluey with a stranger's kid.
Yeah, she wants to sit next to her kid, right?
Yeah, her 3-year-old kid.
I mean, if somebody,
I would
somebody asked
switch.
me if they want to.
I don't want to sit next to a 3. And if you say yes, you're a creep.
If you say,
yeah, I don't mind sitting next to your 3-year-old.
yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah. So I would switch immediately with that person. They found someone else to switch, and O'Leary got a quick lesson on the divide over seat switching, even when it's not the fault of the flyer asking the question. After she vented on X, formerly Twitter, about the incident, she was showered with sympathy from other parents, but was also asked over and over why her problem should be solved by someone else, and was called some vile names.
I wonder what they called her. Do we have access to the names?
They don't say the names in there.
God awful cunt.
Quote, I think that airplanes, especially now, bring out our deepest psychosis.
Probably right.
Yeah, says O'Leary, who hosts a technology podcast on Slate.
That's not a real job. Slate. Fuck is Slate? It's a bullshit company is what it is.
Bullshit company, bullshit podcast.
Well, that's why I don't fly anymore, you know? I take the train.
I take the train, I take the tram.
I take the tram. I take the train. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go find a nice town to settle down in.
Ooh.
Never leave again.
Yeah.
Maybe Oklahoma City.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this is from the Wall Street Journal.
Sure.
Show. The quest to build America's tallest skyscraper in ... Oklahoma. That's right. A developer's plan to outdo New York has its skeptics, quote, I just burst out laughing. Oklahoma City. Scott Madison's team came before the city's planning commission last week seeking to tweak a development he plans to build in a parking lot hard up against a railroad track and is wrapped around two sides of a U-Haul storage facility. Instead of capping the buildings at the boardwalk at Bricktown at 345 feet, he's now thinking one could top out at 1,907 feet.
Wow.
More than twice the height of the tallest building in town, and the biggest in the U.S. Quote, we figure it would be iconic, says Metzen, a California-based developer who briefly made tabloid news by dating one of the Real Housewives of Orange County.
Jesus Christ. So this guy didn't even live in Oklahoma.
No, he's some California hotshot who fucked one of the housewives, and he's come to Oklahoma and said, this place needs a skyscraper.
This guy's a dumbass.
The biggest in the world.
This guy's a dumbass and a pig.
Well, let's see if the city's dumb enough to fall for it. He's a dumbass and a pig. He's a pig. He wants to make a pig building.
Yeah.
You go to a small, modest, wholesome Midwest town and wants to put his pig California fucking pipe dream.
And of course, we've covered this before, but they made it illegal to make a cool looking building, so it's going to be the fucking tallest and ugliest fucking
like
shit in the world.
Piece of shit rectangle. It looks like ass. Look at it. So it is hysterical. The rendering of it's very funny. So if you're watching this right now, Google rendering of proposed skyscraper in Oklahoma City.
Let's see if we can.
Look at that. Yeah. I mean, it's literally like there's no building even remotely close to it. It's like a standalone.
Oh, it sucks.
Oklahomans tend to admire Madison's bold vision, but many do question whether the super tall building higher than New York's 1,700-foot One World Trade Center would even be built in a stretch of America better known as the place, quote, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain.
Oklahoma.
That's right. Manson insists the mostly residential 134-story tower can work, given the city's strong growth, and says the project is fully financed, though he declined to provide details about his backers.
Why would you?
Why would you have any transparency
That's
at all?
important.
And then there's the weather.
The weather.
That's right,
I don't
Trent.
know the climate in Oklahoma.
You don't?
No.
Well, and then there's the weather.
Tornadoes.
Quote, I'll ask you the question that many people ask me every time this project comes up. How are you intending to build a weather this tall in the wind and storms and tornadoes we have in Oklahoma City?
Tornado Alley.
Oh my! It's the heart of Tornado Alley.
Yeah.
It's the windiest. I mean, it's a nightmare. Asked Planning Commission Chairman Kamal Pennington. Well, Rob Budetti, manager partner of AO, the project's California-based architect, said engineers plan a core of concrete walls between 4 and 6 feet thick surrounding the elevator shaft and windows that can stand the force of a tornado without shattering or being sucked away. Quote, it is probably one of the safest places to be.
Bullshit.
You're going to tell me being at the top of this thing's the safest place to be when a tornado comes to town? Also, every guy who builds a building goes, nothing can knock this down.
Yeah.
Oh, this could withstand. You could fly a plane right into this thing. Didn't they literally say that about the World Trade Center one time? Like
I
you
don't
could
know.
fly a plane right into
Well,
it,
the
and it wouldn't
Titanic,
even.
unsinkable ship.
It's an ego project, and every ego project is totally sinkable.
Doomed to fail.
Doomed to fail. They're all
Yeah.
sinkable.
Yeah.
Well, still, these ambitious plans fall short for some. Quote, LMAOOOO. All caps.
Laugh my ass off.
Tweeted Hayden Clarkin, a New York-based transportation consultant, bullshit job,
Yeah.
who goes by the transit guy on social media.
The transit guy.
What a fucking
Oh,
asshole.
the transit guy. I follow
The
him.
transit guy says LMAO after seeing how the building would tower over the vast expanse of the city. Again, it's a hilarious image, so look it up. With very few smaller buildings peeking up from downtown. Quote, if you talk to 1,000 Americans and say, where do you think the tallest building in America should be? I don't think anyone would pick Oklahoma City, he said. Okay, well, you're just a snide asshole from New York.
Right. Yeah. Well, why are you weighing in anyway?
Well, he's a transit guy.
Well, yeah, you're right. And I forgot that. He's. We're talking about the transit guy.
Right.
So that's my mistake. Yeah.
Well, economist Jason Barr, whose book Cities in the Sky comes out next month, said the proposed tower stretches beyond what he calls the economic height of the building, the height that makes economic sense, and goes well into ego height.
Ego height.
That's right. It would pencil out in New York. It would pencil out in Chicago, but statistically, I don't see it penciling out in Oklahoma City. Barr also wonders about the rationale for an observation deck, which is very true. Quote,
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I've never been to Oklahoma City, but what do you see when you go on the observatory? Prairie or whatever? What you said? I can't imagine that's something that would draw a lot of people.
I don't know. Maybe a vast prairie. That would be kind of cool to look out above the.
You mostly just see sprawling suburbs as far as I can see.
It doesn't look like
You
there's
wanna
there's not a prairie in sight there.
No, you just see like golf courses in the distance and
Yeah.
stuff. When Mike Allen, staff cartoonist at the local online publication Non-Doc, bullshit publication, learned the building's height was chosen to honor Oklahoma's 1907 founding, he had a question. Why stop there? His cartoon envisions the developer going for 2,800 feet, the number of calories in Oklahoma's official state meal, which consists of barbecue pork sausage with biscuits and gravy, chicken fried steak, fried okra, squash, black-eyed peas, grits, corn,
Holy
cornbread,
cow.
pecan pie, and strawberries.
Wow, what a meal!
I know. Quote, when they first showed the renderings, I just burst out laughing because it looks so absurd compared to everything else around here.
Yeah, who's building that? Doug Dimmadome,
The company?
the owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. You ever watch Fairly Odd?
Man, what a deep fucking cut right there. What a... How... What are you, crazy?
I'm sure one person will.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, sorry.
It's all about winning over one person each episode.
That's right.
Yeah.
The lore of the Fairly Odd Parents isn't hot on my mind at the moment.
Well,
But yeah, it's a hotshot asshole from California.
Yeah.
He wants to go and then take a dump on Oklahoma City. And they'll probably let him. Because they love to be flattered.
Yeah. Well, Joe, this is from the golf section
Oh, my God.
of the Wall Street Journal.
Of course the Wall Street Journal has a golf section.
which is the first time I've seen the golf section in the paper.
Do you think
the
perhaps
Masters are coming
They
up?
created the golf section for this article.
Maybe. Well, the Masters are coming up. They may have happened
That's
already.
right. Will Tiger do it again?
One can only hope.
Tiger.
The headline: How I Learned to Live with the Yips.
Ah,
It is what every golfer dreads, but after 17 years in its grip, I have learned a lot.
17 years of the yips.
17 years he's been suffering from the yips.
No, because here's the thing. If you have the yips for 17 years, it's not the yips anymore. You're just bad at golf. You know what I mean?
No.
If I miss every pitch for 20 years, I'm just bad at pitching.
Yeah, you
The
lost
yips,
it.
the
You
idea
lost
is that
your
it's
mojo.
a temporary issue.
Right. Well, not according to this.
Okay, maybe
guy.
I don't know about the yips.
Well, someone who doesn't play golf asked me what the yips are. I asked them to imagine being at a dinner party, knowing that each time you raise their fork, there's a good chance your hand would spasm in an uncontrollable fashion and spill food everywhere.
Jeez.
This is what it's like for a golfer who suffers from the yips.
Tell me this. Do you think the yips is more mental than anything?
Well, they don't know.
I think it's mental.
I think it's mental.
It's
yeah,
a mental block.
It's a mental block.
It's anxiety-driven.
Yeah, that's kind of they talk about that in a bit here. If you're unfamiliar, the yips are a condition that affects an athlete's ability to do what would otherwise be done with ease. They strike suddenly and without any real warning.
Oh my God.
Simple tasks such as sinking a 1-foot putt in golf can become monumental.
Well, I can't do that.
No, I couldn't either. It is as if your brain is short-circuiting and you're incapable of finding the fuse box.
That's what it is.
Nobody knows exactly what causes the yips or why they strike some people and not others. What I do know, and can tell you from years of experience, is that they are extremely frustrating, isolating, and hard to talk about.
How about quit playing golf if it's 17 years?
He's addicted.
Addicted.
He can't
But every
give it
day
up.
you're getting pissed off. You're going out there, you're like, my damn yips.
Well, that could be maybe the issue. Maybe take a few years off.
I mean, who golfs for 17 years with the yips? After 3 years, you go, well, fuck this.
Well, as Versailles does.
What an asshole.
It was the spring of 2006. I was working as a club professional and playing some pretty solid golf. I could occasionally shoot under par and almost
Bush
always
was in office and times were good.
I could almost always score somewhere in the 70s. Then one day, everything changed.
The financial collapse.
The financial collapse. The yips. I was hitting some short pitch shots just as I had thousands of times before when suddenly my hands made a repulsive and violent flip.
Oh, my God.
Just before impact, sending the ball screaming into some bushes over the green. I had never felt anything like it in my life. I hit another shot, and it happened again. And then again. I knew immediately. It was the yips.
What's happening, Bob?
The yips.
It's the yips. Oh, my God.
My God, get the shotgun. And then again, but I didn't understand why they were happening to me.
Why me?
Why me? I closed my eyes and prayed silently. Quote, please God, not me.
Oh, my God.
Oh, please God, not me.
It's 2006.
Not the yips.
Iraq is getting leveled. He's over there. Please, God, anyone but me, not the yips.
My
On the
God.
golf course.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Not me.
I had about a dozen more shots.
This guy sucks.
I had about a dozen more shots, refusing to leave before I hit one cleanly. When I finally did, I couldn't get away from the practice green fast enough. I felt confused. What happened in that practice session 17 years ago? What happened in that practice session 17 years ago, I kept to myself until now. He's finally found the courage to write an article in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, this
In the golf section of the Wall Street Journal.
It's the bravest man in the world. Wow, what bravery.
Golfers endure various types of yips. Driver yips, sand yips, chipping yips, full swing yips, and most famously putting yips.
It is crazy how little sympathy I have for this guy or anyone golfing that has the yips.
No. Remember that guy, Brett Maher, from the Dallas Cowboys, the kicker.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
He missed like 6 field goals in a playoff game.
The funniest football game that's ever been
was
played
hilarious.
was the Cowboys playoff game 2 years ago in 2022.
Yeah.
Or maybe January 23.
Yeah.
Where, he missed 5 kicks in that game, and then they kept cutting to his face after each one.
He looked like he'd seen a ghost.
The color drained out of his face, and he would miss one after another, and the camera would keep cutting back to him, and they go, boy, would I hate to be Brett Maher right now, having the worst day of his life.
Worst day of his life.
He goes, fuck me.
Fuck on me. I got the... Please, God, not me. Please, God.
Please, God, not now, not me, no! Not the yips.
Yeah. Well, this guy, he's got you mentioned all these yips, and he says, I've danced with all of these demons.
What a
When you have the mildest form, most people won't even
most
notice.
tone-deaf thing of all
You
time.
have the yips. On those days, the yips feel like a light fog, but at their peak severity, they are like a hurricane, with you squarely in the eye of the storm.
And his wife has to pretend to feel bad for him about this. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
You don't know what it's like out there, Samantha. Day after day, year after year. Yip, 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 yip.
Yeah. She comes home. She goes, How was it, honey? He goes, don't even fucking ask.
Don't fucking start. Yeah, that's supposed to be the thing where he goes and blows off steam.
Yeah.
Instead, he gets all worked up and comes back.
There is no quick fix. There never is. This wasn't about technique. It never was.
Yeah, it's about...
It was time to turn inward. What could I do to make my mind stronger, tougher, better, faster, stronger?
Really?
No, just much stronger and tougher. I decided to bring some breathing and meditation techniques into my daily routine. I meditated almost daily for over 2 years.
Didn't work.
Didn't work. I would visualize myself playing entire golf rounds, chipping and putting flawlessly. That's the point of meditation. To envision yourself playing golf.
This guy's such a prick.
I would practice rhythmic breathing on the golf course. I would chant mantras of self-encouragement.
Oh my God.
These techniques helped out, but certainly didn't heal.
This guy sucks.
The tension that came over me before the yips would attack was still
you want to get over the yips with your golf game?
Yeah.
Go and do connect with the actual world. Go fucking wait tables in Atlanta. See what actual people are dealing with. Go overseas.
Right. Yeah.
And fucking help out. Do something different besides meditating
going
about
to the
golf.
course every day.
He
meditating.
just lost complete touch
practicing
of
rhythmic breathing.
there's no actual struggle in this guy's life. So his brain has created a struggle with the form of the yips.
Yeah.
Because there's no, we have to have some kind of struggle in our lives.
Right.
And if we don't have one, our mind will create one for us.
Yeah, and this is the yips. This guy got the yips playing
the
golf.
yips from having no real problems in his life.
My yips journey continues, but the questions have changed. Technique, effort, and mental toughness aren't concerns anymore. I know I have those skills.
No, you don't.
But what is it that I fear, and why is that a threat to me? This is what all the technical gurus and their promises of yip-free golf miss. It's not about your technical golf ability or swing.
Not.
It may very well be that the yips are a primordial defense reflex you have in response to a threat.
I think he's overthinking it now.
He's overthinking it. That's part of his problem.
Yeah.
But he's making up a threat in his mind involving golf. No amount of practice is going to change that. Until a person can come to terms with that, I can almost assure you that they'll be adrift in a spin cycle, searching for answers, as I have been for 17 years.
I think a break from golf would do this guy a lot of good.
They say love conquers all, and my love for golf and competition is about all I have left in this battle.
Oh my God.
This is quickly turning into a suicide note.
Yeah, really. This might be the last thing we ever hear. But if he tried to blow his brains out, his hand would he'd shoot his wife on accident. He goes, Your Honor, it was the yips.
It was the yips.
It was the yips.
I tried to kill myself, but I had the yips.
I got no motor function in this bad boy anymore. By the way, if you could take a look at my swing. Yeah. Something's been off.
You look like
5, 10, 17 years.
Your way around the back nine. It isn't that I'm now resigned to a defeat. It's more that I'm resigned to acceptance. My prayer of please God, not me,
please God,
spare me this fate, has been replaced by other words. from the book of Genesis.
Oh my God, dude.
I am not letting go until you bless me, as I figuratively hold on to this game that I love.
He's turned to the Bible for solace.
Yes, many people do. If playing golf means that sometimes when the storm rages, I have to bear down and hold on, then so be it. I may occasionally lose control of my hands, but I am not letting go.
Oh my God, dude, buddy, let go. Let go. Well, if
There's
anything,
other things to do.
oh, there's so many other things.
Yeah.
See the world.
Right.
Anything.
Yeah.
Get to know your family again. Well, if anything, his story is a modern retelling of the book of Job. Where God is trials and trials and trials.
Yeah.
And he must persevere. I can't think of anybody who's had more trials in human history than this man.
Than Laz Versailles.
Than Laz Versailles.
Well, we pray for Laz, and we hope he gets better. We hope he cures his
To end
yips.
that with a quote from Genesis is insane.
No, it's the most insane thing I've ever.
That guy's an
read.
insufferable bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah. God. Well,
This is our final story.
now for the final story of the Echo Chamber podcast. From the personal journal.
Oh, one of our
Another
favorite
dip back
sections.
into the personal journal. Invisibility appears to cloak retirees. So not only are the yips plaguing people on the golf course, but for the elderly, Trent, they're plagued by something even more anomalous.
Jeez. Shunning.
Invisibility.
Being shunned.
Can you imagine what it's like to never be seen? Well, just ask Karen and Stephen Yoder.
Jeez.
Karen. Half of this is written by Karen, the other half is written by Stephen.
Oh, wow.
Karen, it was June. It was a June afternoon in the Rockies, just after I retired, when we agreed that we must be turning into ghosts. We had been cycling in the mountains since breaking camp before dawn, and we decided to splurge on a private room at a hostel. We checked in and headed through the bike storage area, walking our rig by young hostelers congregated in the common spaces. We must have been a sight. Two bedraggled 60-somethings pushing a tandem bicycle laden like a pack mule. Except no one seemed to notice us. We crossed into the living room where 20-something hikers with ruddy faces studied their computer screens. No one looked up.
Jeez.
Ugh.
God.
We inched through the kitchen where others were sautéing onions for a group meal. Excuse us, sorry to interrupt. One of us said as we squeezed through, that sure smells good. They turned a bit, giving us space, but not a fucking word. Yeah, I know. I know. Not a how's it going, not a where'd you come from, nor cool rig. Cool. It's crazy they think they're going to get a cool rig.
Cool rig.
Yeah, you can believe that, honey? Not a single cool rig.
Cool rig on your tandem bicycle there.
No, not a single 21-year-old said cool rig.
Wow.
Yeah. Nor eye contact. Quote, we're invisible, Steve whispered from the
Jesus.
hallway.
Oh my God! If a tree falls in the woods, is anybody here? If a 60-year-old couple checks into a hostel, does anybody notice?
With the tandem bicycle. That's crazy. If I saw two 60-something-year-olds with a tandem bicycle coming to the hotel, the first thing I would drop whatever I'm doing, and I would say, "Nice rig." Who wouldn't do that? These guys are completely out of touch with reality. They're as out of touch as the last guy. It's crazy that they think anyone would give a shit. Yeah. Also, why do you need anyone to give a shit?
Right. You have your loving
You're
wife.
retired with your wife
Yeah.
and bicycling.
What? Yeah, I don't know.
Who gives a shit? We're invisible. Nobody even acknowledged our existence. We're too old to see.
Jeez.
Sometimes
Put him out to pasture.
Sometimes the feeling isn't so much invisibility as a reverence. I was with some younger pals recently, standing in a tight circle drinking coffee at an event. My friends chatted about their insanely busy work weeks, asking each other how they balance their professional lives with raising children
Sure.
and volunteer work. Nobody turned to me. I had decades of that frenetic pace. I did it. I survived. Perhaps I might have a few tips to share. Nope. I thought silently, I'm retired. Too old to be relevant. Unseen.
Wow.
Sat there quietly sipping her coffee. They didn't ask her a fucking word. This is from Steve. That was from Karen. This is from Steve. Quote, Steve, it happened again at the upscale restaurant. I love that he just chimes in. It happened again at an upscale restaurant near our house recently. Quote, are we just imagining this? I asked Karen. It was a rare... should I just keep doing this voice? I'll just keep doing it.
I just picture them like talking to some guy behind the counter at Burger King. They're saying
they're
this.
the people who are like, how's it going?
Yeah.
And it's like... What do you mean? I mean, I don't know. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
They have nothing to do, so they're
Right.
just, you know.
Yeah.
People are busy.
Yeah.
It was a rare evening of dining out, and by evening I mean 5:30 p.m. There were still many empty tables, yet we were having a heck of a time getting our server's attention. To order drinks, to order food, to request water refills. We could see him over there tearing cheerfully among young diners at other tables. But he's having the time of his life at other tables. They're juggling.
Maybe these people are just duds. This is a couple of duds.
I think they're not interesting.
Yeah.
How can he not see us? I said. Karen grinned and uttered the code. We're invisible. We later couldn't flag our server down for even... It's also a toxic way to think and tell yourself constantly.
Yeah.
Because then it's like the yips.
Right.
It's like the more you believe in this thing, the more you're going to manifest it into your reality.
Right.
If you go around thinking I'm invisible, then sure enough, you're going to find out
a fucking gray cloud
just how
over
fucking
your head.
invisible you are.
Yeah.
The golf guy's biggest mistake was believing the yips are even real.
Yeah.
Now he's doomed to them.
He's doomed.
And these guys are going to be invisible forever. We later couldn't flag our server down for even the bill, so we vowed to enjoy the restaurant's ambiance until we saw fit to free up our table from prime time. It took him about half an hour. And the hardest thing to admit, maybe not everything is about us.
Yeah. No shit. You're learning that at fucking 60 years old, you fucking piece of shit.
Well, that's what happens with baby boomers. They didn't realize... Okay, boomer, I can hear it now when we lament our newfound invisibility. We've gone through life thinking we're special, and we are now only now discovering we are not so different after all. And it isn't just us baby boomers who feel an encroaching irrelevance. A long retired minister I know talks sadly of how church leaders no longer listen to his ideas about the ministry. Several professors have lamented to me that their college successors didn't seek their advice. Retired editors know very well that they are yesterday's news, but that doesn't stop them from bemoaning their untapped expertise. I hear no one listens anymore refrain so often in the past few decades that I began calling it the old man's lament. That would never be my lamentation, I vowed at the time. And here you are, writing a fucking article about it in the person. I think you're right. I think it's because when you're old, obviously people are less interested. There's no sex appeal. You're probably going to have more requests from a waiter and things like that.
Yeah.
And, people don't care. So what you got to do is be more animated. If you're old, you got to be the crazy old guy making jokes.
You got to be fun at least.
Be fun. Yeah. Have fun. Drink more than you should at 60. Really shake it up.
Right. But I do think there's something interesting there where I do think younger people... They could do some good to learn from the older generation. I think there's a weird animosity,
especially about all those professions he listed, because there are people who come into like roles now and they're like,
they don't know jack shit.
They don't know jack shit. They're like, I'm going to revamp the system. I'm going to do things the modern way. And then after 3 years, they're like, everything's fucked up.
We're fucked.
We fucked up the whole thing. And then I think it's also people's pride. They don't want to call Professor Jenkins up and ask him because everyone's got an ego, So
pride and ego.
Pride and ego.
They goeth before the fall.
That's right. That's from Genesis. Yeah, but before that, the pride and ego. If only there was a physical thing that could manifest all of them, perhaps in Oklahoma City, that we could latch onto as a symbol. Yeah. So be mindful of your ego and your pride. Ask the elderly for advice.
Yeah, and the yips. If you it's all in your head.
It's all
take a little break from golf.
Take a little break from golf. Jesus Christ,
find another hobby.
Yeah.
You suck cock.
Start collecting some fucking old pencils or something like that. Turn back to the simple things.
Right.
Yeah. It's not all about taking 2 scores off your fucking golf swing. There's a lot more happening in the world.
Exactly. Get out there, experience life.
Yeah.
That's what we say. Check into a hostel. So who cares if you're invisible?
We're saying experience life as we're sitting inside recording this podcast on the most beautiful day.
Yeah. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode of the Echo Chamber.
Thank you for watching or listening. Please like and subscribe. Share with your friends. Leave a comment. Leave a review. All of that bullshit.
Yeah.
And thanks for listening once again.
Until next time. This is Trent signing off.
And this is Joe signing out.
Bye-bye.